He ripped out my hair extensions.
I didn't
And
rip
he
her
ripped my
hair.
phone out of my hand and he wouldn't give
Yeah,
it
I
back to me.
took her phone from her.
I just need to process what happened because it feels like surreal. Like this isn't real.
What do you mean?
We're being so bitchy, no? Come on, let's see. Come on.
Awesome! Going into the 9th episode of this new 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way season, James and Tata were really the only couple slightly holding my attention. That was until Sarper and Shekinah had this fight at the end of the episode where Sarper ripped out Shekinah's extension. But before we get into that fight, let's talk about how we got here with Dumb and Dumber. So I made a video previously talking about how these two robots applied for the K1 visa, which wasn't a complete surprise since they obviously want to be on TV. I mean, they gotta keep paying for those procedures. I also talked about how Shekinah is mad that Sarper keeps alcohol bottles as trophies from each country he banged someone in. So she brought a red binder to Turkey with a really long love letter in it from when she was a teenager to make Sarper jealous. By the way, these are adults I'm talking about doing this. And then they were on a few more episodes where they seemed to forget about the alcohol bottles and red binder and suddenly tried to act like their relationship is actually very serious. Well, Shekinah is at least. She even goes to meet up with one of Sarper's exes who is trying to warn her about Sarper. All while Sarper over here is just saying the most random things that pop into his hollow head.
Yeah, I imagine you pooping sometimes, you know that?
They need to pick a lane, serious or not serious. Shaq is all like, I applied for the K1 visa. Take me seriously. This is my serious face. While Sarper just keeps saying the most off-the-wall crap that is so unserious. He's not even taking the whole K1 visa thing seriously.
It was, to be honest, her idea.
They applied for it, supposedly, but it can take years.
So I said that I can change her mind, or my mind can be changed in the future. So we will see if it's approved.
So he's just like, oh, cool, I can back out of this if I don't want to do the K1 when it gets approved. Like, he doesn't seem to care at all. And yet Shekinah is all worried about women trying to take Sarper away from her and is asking his ex how their relationship ended.
Uzun zaman sonra ilk kez bir kadına karşı böyle duygular beslediğini, bu şekilde hissettirdiğini söyledi. Ben ona seni seviyorum dediğim zamanlarda ben de seni seviyorum diyebiliyordu çok rahat bir şekilde.
When he claims that he's never even actually had a real relationship. And all she keeps finding out is that Sarper is exactly what she called him last season, a walking red flag.
He said he loved you also.
Tamamen beni manipüle etmeye çalışıyordu sert mizacıyla bana hakaret edip aşağılayarak.
And yet acts so surprised when she hears terrible stuff about him from his ex. This was unnecessarily suspenseful. We know that Alibaba Ken sucks. Shekinah does too. She knew how this was going to go, so after she meets up with this woman, the couple goes to meet up at the furniture store, with Sarper looking really like a mannequin in that shopping window.
She was very affected by the way you treated her.
I didn't give any hopes to her, you know?
She expects him to not lie when she confronts him. So when his eyes get wider, he is not malfunctioning. This means that he's either lying, about to lie, or trying to think of another lie. Got it?
Hello, we are sorry, but we have to close the show now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
They don't want us fighting in their store.
I transformed to a lovey-dovey, fluffy bamban, you know? Right now, I'm a serious relationship lovey-dovey guy.
Okay, he does suck, but he can also be pretty funny. I don't even think he's trying to be funny either.
Once upon a time, before you, I was a cock. And right now, I transformed into a peacock. I mean, with my feathers, I'm trying to impress you.
So the theme here, and has always been, that Sarper is a player, and Shekinah, ironically, does not want to get played.
Sounds like I'm giving him so many passes.
But also, he's done nothing to prove that he's not still a player. That's what she's looking for, proof that he's not a player. But she keeps finding out more warning signs that he still is. All while he's just constantly saying he's changed. He's changed his whole life. He's no longer sleeping around. He's all about Shekinah. And things start to really go downhill for Dumb and Dumber on their birthday. You know, the day they were born, on the same day but not.
Sarper, you were born on the 21st. And Shekinah, you were born on the 20th.
Yeah.
And you have the same birthday. How?
They're saying that they were born on the same day because of the time zone difference, 2 years apart. I mean, I guess I can believe that they were printed and manufactured on the same date. So they meet up with Sarper's family on their birthday, and things are not going great. They tell Sarper's family about how they applied for the K-1 visa, but remember, they have not been approved for it yet. It could take a while, and Sarper still doesn't even seem sure if he wants to do it. But they are letting his family know their future plans, and his family is not happy about it.
Benim bir tek oğlum var. Zaten bir torunumuz yok.
Shekinah also explains that her own family is not supportive of this, and I think starts crying. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I think she's crying. Shekinah's sister had come to visit last season and did not like Sarper.
Her impression of him was not good, and I feel like it was partially the way that she approached him.
You're speaking too much, Shreya.
All right.
And I'm sure when they saw the tell-all, when he showed his book tallying off how many women he has slept with, helped that a lot. So her family is no longer talking to her because of Sarper. It's almost like her family thinks this guy is a playboy. Bad news, because, you know, he is. So now this entire story has shifted. At first, we were focused on Sarper's body count, alcohol bottle trophies, and Shaq's red binder with an old love letter in it. But now Zoolander is getting real serious over here. The new story is that Shekinah is taking Sarper away from his loving family to be with her in the US, where she has no support from her own family. But we don't actually even know yet if their K-1 visa will get approved. So that's not a very strong storyline, is it? That night though, not long after their dinner, producers show up to the aftermath of a very big fight.
Ed the Gnome wants to remind you to subscribe to the Kiblz channel. If you don't, he will appear in your room tonight.
He ripped out my hair extensions.
I didn't rip
And he
her
ripped my
hair.
phone out of my hand, but he wouldn't give
Yeah,
it
I
back to
took-
me.
According to Shekinah, they argued, and Sarper ripped out one of her extensions when he tried to take her phone from her. He says that this was an accident, but Shekinah looks pretty shaken up and she leaves. Just to reiterate with some context from last season, this guy had ripped a lollipop out of her mouth at the gym. This is not like new behavior. He has been called and shown to be controlling, manipulative, have a temper, and tonight he got angry and ripped her phone away, and her extension hair got ripped out as that happened. But she acts so surprised by this.
To give me my phone back, and he says, "What? I don't know where your phone is." He was trying to make me feel like I was going crazy.
She keeps saying, "Oh, this doesn't feel real." It's not surprising. He's been like this the entire time. So if this was like her wake-up moment into realizing that he is still the same and won't change, fine, run with that. Leave him.
Just like, what's so wrong?
The issue I'm having with this now is that on the next episode, it looks like they're going to meet up and talk about this. And I unfortunately know how this is already going to go. Since we have met these two, there have been these hints that they're only on the show to be on TV. And I personally think that they're using this to fund their plastic surgery addictions. They can tag team surgeries in Turkey and get it funded by the show. It's a win for them, a loss for everyone that has to look at them. But now we're at a point where something is going to have to happen to keep them on the show. They're not married, they're not engaged, yet they're on the other way. So they need to find a way to stay on the show or go to another 90-day show. Unfortunately, no matter how Sarper acts in this relationship, Shekinah has already put up with a lot of controlling and warning sign behavior. The signs have already been there for her to get out. I mean, the guy weighed her on her first day in Turkey. Again, the guy ripped a lollipop out of her mouth and smashed it on the floor. This fight is not going to get her to leave.
If he just thinks we're gonna fall back into like our happy life and things are gonna be great, he's totally wrong.
She's going to meet up with Sarper and they will make up. If she does leave, great. I'm not saying she shouldn't leave, she should, but I will be shocked if she does it. She needs him to keep this reality TV thing going, unless somehow one of them does a single life. She's going to go the same route that most of these people do in these toxic relationships. She's going to let this go, think that everything will change when they get to the US, but all she's doing is giving him a new country to add to his body count in. She already thinks that he can change his playboy ways. He won't. They already applied for the K-1 visa, so she thinks this is going to work out after he's done a lot of controlling and manipulative things. And she's already cut off contact with most of her family. That is unfortunately where this is going. They're going to stay together. And even though I really can't stand her, no one deserves to have a partner like that. Let me know what you think about this. I think she needs to dump him and move on with her life. They should not be together. They should not have been together since the first season. And this got way more serious than I expected. Thanks for watching. Bye!